So,
Do you want me to put the timer?
I have a timer, so I
Okay.
have 15 minutes and I'll be able to see it. So, Katy Care, Veridian Mortgage, mortgage broker. So I'm using kind of the same template as last time, but I've just updated some of the slides. So these were the most recent pictures I've had. Went to the pumpkin patch last week, so I got $2. Kyla and Ellie, who's like 2 and 4.5. And this was at Disneyland when I told you I went, and literally Eric and my husband were like pushing me around in a wheelchair because I couldn't walk around. I couldn't keep up with them. But we had to go no matter what. And we already have our next Disney trip planned for this one. So yeah, and then my older daughter just started dancing, and I don't have any updated pictures of my dogs. I know, they've been in and out of like the vet and stuff, so there weren't any like cute pictures. But I do have 2 mastiffs, and they're slobbery and smelly. So I didn't put pictures of them this time. So just to kind of reiterate, I went through this last time, but I think just to kind of remind everybody what a broker and a banker, the difference is. So I'm a broker. And so bank is pretty much a lot of times when you hear of all the, Wells Fargo, Chase, City National, or Bank of America, those are the banks. They have the money. I'm a broker and I have no money, but it's because I have access to the banks who have the money. And so I do have access to over 100 lenders, which is a lot. Honestly, I probably work with like a dozen of them, but I do have access to them for those like weird scenarios that a lot of lenders cannot do. So I'm able to rate shop, and I think the most important thing is actually I'm able to come up with solutions, whereas I may not have if I didn't have so many options. So again, some of the unique situations that come up are really like condos and litigation. Most lenders don't want to lend on those. I do have a lender that does that. Self-employed is kind of tricky to get qualified sometimes. RSU income, low down payment, things like that. So those were just 2 examples that I've been working on right now. And even though it seems like there's a lot of solutions, I'm still not the right fit for everybody. But I'm hoping that the takeaway is that I can be used as a resource. So I do have a lot of options, and I think for people to come to me to just kind of run things by me and to kind of see, get a second opinion or something. I do have access to many loan options. I will give my honest feedback, and I think common sense wise, maybe some people might not come to me as one if I don't know, they don't want me to know their financial stuff, which is totally understandable, and I respect that. That's why I don't think I've ever tried to ask people for business, especially people I know. But honestly, I don't remember. I don't have the brain capacity to remember everyone's like scenarios. I really focus on my brain capacity to really be working on my active files and to remember all these loan options I'm talking about. And I've been self-employed for 11 years. I've been through the startup phase several times for several companies, and I understand when you're cash flow negative, and I understand why we do that as entrepreneurs. It's because it's to build something we believe in. It's like taking a really ballsy risk. So I really can understand from that standpoint. I'm not judgmental about that part. And then in terms of credit, I see all crazy stuff, like medical stuff, people, getting shut because of medical reasons or things like that. So it's kind of like a doctor, but then, they see all this stuff. I see a lot of situations, and I honestly, I don't remember, like, people's files. I look at it at that moment, and I kind of, like, once I'm done with the file, I kind of, like, forget about it. And I don't really have time to go, like, look at it for any reason. So if anyone really wants it to be confidential private, I really keep it confidential private. You don't have to feel any judgment. But if you don't feel comfortable and you want to go with somebody else, I have other people I can refer you to that I trust, that I will make sure that I have I won't look at your stuff or completely opposite, but still think of me as a resource. And I respect everyone's feelings and decisions about this because I know it's very private. And the other thing is, I think people might go, well, what if I talk to Katie and then I don't go with her? Then I'll feel bad. And I'm okay with that too, because let's say I look at your file or you ask me a question and you're it's very cookie cutter. There's nothing weird about your file. I feel like there's a lot of lenders that will be willing to look at your file, and maybe you have a relationship with your bank. Then going with your bank is kind of like the right fit, and I'll tell you that. I was like, okay, it looks like you'll qualify anywhere. But again, I think as you see on the surface, it's not so easy. I think people think that they can go online and figure out their income and like underwrite themselves, which is not true. It also kind of shows you why rate matters, but I think in all our business is the same. It's more about value. It's more about how can I get the lowest interest rate for my situation, not so much how can I just get the lowest interest rate, period. Because what if your loan doesn't go through in a purchase? It's not really worth getting that low interest rate if it doesn't go through, or you don't qualify or something. So it's really my job to really look at all the different situations that are out there, and get the best rate, get the best service for you in terms of whatever your goal is. If your goal is to purchase, I need to find a quick lender. If your goal is to get the most cash out, I need to find the lender with some guidelines that will allow you to get the most cash out. If your goal is to get the lowest interest rate for a refinance, I'm looking for that lender. Maybe speed is not that important. So there's a lot of factors into choosing the right lender. And that's pretty much what I do all the time. So good referrals are anyone who's looking to purchase a home, refinance, or utilize the equity in their home to get money out. Like for my own in-laws, Eric's parents, I pretty much refer them to Sandy because in their situation, the home equity line made sense for them, but then in a lot of other situations, they might need a cash out instead. So it really depends. But again, I'm a good person to kind of start with, to kind of see where they should go and go from there. So I think that's it. I'm actually.
Wow, that's pretty
So
good.
Since you have the clock here.
Wow. Okay, so just a few minutes for questions if anybody else has questions.
I have a question.
Yeah.
Do you deal with reverse mortgages?
So reverse mortgages are its own thing. My partners actually both do reverse mortgages. I purposely don't do them only because I feel like the guidelines are completely different, the process is completely different. And I think I don't understand people's situations well enough to advise them correctly. So I have 3 other people in my office that actually do them, and they do them much more regularly, and they're certified. So you actually have to be certified to do it. So I've never gone through the process to certify myself because I feel like most of the people I've worked with were not doing reverse mortgages, they were just forward regular mortgages. So yeah, I think usually it's always going to be looking at if a couple or a single person, if they can sell their home. That's like the easiest way to get the boatload of money. If for some reason they can't sell their home, they don't want to sell their home, then reverse mortgage might be a great way for them to get some income and stay in their home. But again, I'm not the right person to actually do reverse mortgage. I refer that out.
So we could refer a reverse mortgage to you.
Yes,
and
you
then
can.
would
Yes,
send
yes.
it
I
to-
can take care of them. I can make sure that they're taken care of. I can make sure they're talking to the right person. But yeah, like Tammy used to ask me, like, oh, do you do reverse? And I would have to send them to like my partner Richard or my other partner like Maria, who do them, and they are certified. But yes, very different. So, any other questions?